first off, how you survive this? I mean, I'm mid 40s. I sleep uncomfortably in my comfortable bed. My body aches. How the heck did you sleep out there and just function?
It's just true grit, and I think I wanted to experience this, like I wanted to experience this 24 years ago, and I never tried. So I figured, like, when I do things, I try to go all in. I knew I was going to be uncomfortable. I knew I was going to starve. I knew all of these things. You don't really get it until you're going through it. But there were many times that I thought to myself, I don't know if I want to stay here, and then all of a sudden, then like you just like you make it through one more day. Hang in there 5 more minutes, baby steps sometimes, and then other days you're okay. So it's all depends on just how you're dealing and how you're waking up every moment and every second, because everything changes all the time.
What was your strategy, changing your age?
When you go into something like Survivor, I feel like I've seen all the past years that the older people are labeled the older people, and they're the easy vote out, the target, the weak link, the
Mhm.
older person's going to hold back the tribe. And when you've got to come down to a decision out of six people, you just pick the older person. So obviously, I know I'm the older person, but I felt like if they knew I was really 58, 59, I was like dead and buried in a grave, compared to if I'm in my 40s, maybe I didn't know if they would believe it, but I didn't think they would actually put too much to it. Like, who cares, right? You're in your 40s, she's the older one. But if I said I was in my 50s, that could be like Teeny's grandmother. You know what I mean? Like, that's the mindset I went in with, and I just knew I had that plan to go in, be a beast in my 40s, and then accomplish tons of stuff, and then in the end be like, I'm 59 and I beat all your asses. So like I
Yeah.
wanted that to be the big shock, to be like, I'm not 40, I'm 59, and look what I did. And that was my whole mindset and my whole plan the whole time. And it came through, other than I didn't win. But like, it worked.
Absolutely. That red paint idol, I was like, producers, this is too much. I couldn't believe it. How the heck did you get through that?
That was way too much. Like, when I don't didn't know what to expect, when I chopped that rope and I hear this big crash, and there's just red paint all over, and it's seeping into the sand in the pathway as well. It's in the leaves, it's on the trees, it's all over, and I had no idea it was even on my body. That's how big of a crash it was, a splash. And and trying to scurry, I would say I probably had about 45 minutes, but I'm scooping up this. Now it's all over, my chest. I'm scooping it up and trying to run it to find a hole someplace, taking the pottery, running to another place, doing all I can. And then when Caroline and Tiana come up, I'm like, oh shoot, what am I? But I felt, so I hid behind the water well, because I had a feeling it was on my legs. I had no idea it was on my face. And I'm like, oh no. And when Tiana said, is that blood on your face? I'm just like, uh, I'm just not, can I just, I don't know, I'm just having a bad day. I did something stupid. And that's when I later on said to them, I knew I had to give them a story. And they saw the machete. And I said to them, I was walking through the woods and I tripped over this hole and I bit the back of my tongue. And I pass out at the sight of blood. So this is my whole story. I pass out at the sight of blood. I I started getting dizzy. I laid down and it was pooling in the back of my throat, made me dry heave. I rolled over and I'm dry heaving. And that's why my ponytails were in dipping, because my hair, the hair from down was red. And I said, and that's what happened. I know it was stupid, but like I couldn't tell him I had a cut, because I'd have to show him, and I couldn't show him anything, So like that was my only option, and I stuck with it. And I just feel like I was so underestimated that they didn't even think about it. It was just so strange. And then when we merged and people started finding all the evidence again, I don't know how Tiana, that's why I needed Tiana out, because I didn't trust her to not rat me out. Caroline wouldn't rat me out, but Tiana, she was a good social player, and I just was very nervous about that.
Well, Caroline told me that she told you not to play the idol on her
Yes.
at that tribal where she ends up leaving. How did you feel about that, though?
I was never going to play my idol on her. I hate to say that, but that's why I was so desperate looking for another idol, other advantages. That one was always staying with me. I would wanted so bad to have at least two of something. So I was constantly looking. I did want to save her. I wanted to save Gabe at the time. I needed to find something else to save my alliances, but I was never going to play my idol. She had asked me, and I said yes, because it's really hard and awkward when someone says, if I need it, will you play it for me? And I love her to death. And I said yes. But then I was so grateful when she said, I think I'm okay. And I'm like, "Ooh," because I love my alliances, but like I'm here for $1 million. And it felt so good every day knowing that like I was safe. You know what I mean? Unless they really blindsided me, but because they never looked, I don't know if it's because of my age or just the way I was, they never ever suspected me of having anything. I mean, I searched through those woods. We used to say it's a needle in 1,000 haystacks. And I freaking found it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So like that's badass in my opinion. So that was mine.
Absolutely. A lot of people never find one.
Yeah.
What's it like to watch the show back? Are you able to watch with your family?
I'm having a blast. It's so fun being with my family and seeing how proud they are and like some of like it's I'm as excited as they are because the way it the edit is and the way everything goes down and the things that shock me, and I'm so proud of the whole cast. Like the cast is a wonderful cast and they all played so good, and like I feel like this is the best season ever. Like I just feel like we've really done a good job just being ourselves and playing the game we want to play.
It
Yeah.
is. It's one of the best seasons of all time. Absolutely. What does this whole experience mean for you?
Well, as I say, I'm going to be 60 next year. So I wanted to play this game and my whole family did, my dad did. And, after he passed away a few years ago, I remember thinking he'll never have the opportunity to do it. We always wanted to almost go in as like a whole family thing. And I just feel like I even said to Jeff in one of my interviews, I have to do it now before I'm too old. You know what I mean? Because like I don't know how much longer, I didn't know. And it's like a message to everyone my generation that your age is just a number. You can freaking go on Survivor if you want. You can just get off the couch and start exercising, feeling good. Follow your dreams of the person you wanted to be when you were young, but life got in the way. Like life, there's so much more life to be lived. You know what I mean? Like just stop. Stop the boring stuff and the safe stuff and face your fears, and you just feel like $1 million. So I don't know, like I really wanted it to be a message for my generation to just don't give up. Like, don't give up. There's so much more to do in life. And if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Well, it was so fun to watch you. Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
making it all the way to the end. I really appreciate your time today as
Oh,
well.
thank you. I appreciate it. Nice to meet you.